Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here, predicting the 7-game NBA main slate on Tuesday. A couple things before I get in the video. If you're new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos talking about NBA, NFL, and XFL daily fantasy sports. I'm also running a weekly $20 PayPal giveaway on my channel. How it works, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment below per video. So it started with my Thursday NBA video, the first game back from the All-Star break. We'll go throughout the week, and we'll end my Monday NBA video at the end of this week. So however many videos I've uploaded for this extended week, you can enter the giveaway that many times. So if I have 10 videos uploaded for the week, you can enter the giveaway 10 times. And again, the winner receives $20 PayPal for myself. With that out of the way, before we jump into it too, I just want to say thank you guys all so much for all the support. We did hit 3,000 subscribers. That is just crazy that I hit that number. Mind blowing, really. But thank you guys. And all right, let's get into the video. So first, we'll look back at my lineup here from Monday. So Monday, the core plays I gave you guys were Joel Embiid, 79 fantasy points. He was chalky, but still, you had to have him in your lineup. Horford was solid, 4.5K. He was 26.5 fantasy points. And then I gave you guys Dennis Smith Jr. Now, I didn't get him in my lineup, and that was probably due to the fact that I was streaming and I was trying to answer you guys' questions. I talked about really wanting to get him in there. He's my favorite value. I just couldn't make it work because the way my lineup went, like I said, I really wanted to play Trae Young and run it back with those Philly guys. So I just had no guard room because Trae Young was locked in. And then, Luka was the spend up I wanted to get to. Now, things changed, obviously, with Westbrook being ruled out. That was pretty frustrating for sure. Westbrook being a late scratch because Harden just got a huge boost from that. Obviously, I would have played Harden over Luka if I would have been able to change it, and then that opened up a lot of the Houston value. So that was a very, very tilting part. But yeah, it was either, I could have tried to get DSJ here, but I didn't have the salary, so I would have had to take out like Kelly O or Horford. I just really like the way my lineup was, so I just stuck with it. Now, definitely hurt a bit because Dennis Smith Jr. is going off again. He was in my core, so it was him, Joel Embiid, Al Horford, and Luka Doncic in the core. Really solid core. Hope you guys made some good money there. But yeah, again, going over my lineup, I just wanted the game stack there. Trae Young ran it back with the Philly guys. Richardson, Embiid, and Horford. Josh Jackson was, my favorite value play there from Memphis. Kelly O, a little bit tilted there. He was a great fantasy point per minute guy. He just got limited minutes wise. He got in foul trouble, 2 quick fouls in the first 4 minutes. He had like 3 points, 3 assists, and a block in the first 4 minutes, and then did not return until like the 1 minute mark of the second quarter. So he missed out on a bunch of minutes. Him and Mo Wagner were the two value guys. It was a close call. Ended up Mo was the better play. That game did go to overtime too. A couple games went into overtime. That the Milwaukee-Washington game, and then what was the other game that went into overtime? The Miami-Cleveland game. So, yeah, that basically does it. Don't know if I'm going to hit the cash. I think Luka's going to have a big second half, and Josh Jackson's going to have to have a really good game. Just because I got Dennis Smith Jr. was pretty chalky, and he's going off. But, yeah, that basically does it here for Monday. So, let's talk about Tuesday's slate. I mean, I do it all for you guys, right? If I wasn't live streaming, I would have found a way to get DSJ in there, but it wasn't important. I was like, what? I don't have a whole lot of money on this slate tonight. There's just a lot of blowout risk on the slate, so I didn't have a whole lot invested in it. I was like, what? I don't care. I'll just try to keep going and answer you guys' questions. So, all right, let's talk about the 7-game slate for Tuesday. Before we talk about players and their prices, let's take a look at some numbers here. So we have the Hornets and the Pacers sitting at 208.5. The Pacers are 10.5 point favorites, so definitely some blow risk there. Bucks Raptors, 231 over under. The Bucks are 2-point favorites. We have the Thunder and the Bulls 218 over under. The Thunder are 7-point favorites. I'm actually going to that game tomorrow, so I'll not be able to live stream, unfortunately. And it's a game that's like, I wish it was more DFS friendly, not a super DFS friendly game. Like, I wish it was a game that I could stack. I don't really think I want to stack OKC versus Chicago. Detroit, Denver, 216 over under. Denver, 12-point favorites. Definitely some blowout risk there. The Boston-Portland game is not out yet, the over-under, but there are some pretty appealing plays in that one. And then we have the revenge game narrative game with the Pelicans and the Lakers, 238.5. The Lakers are 8-point favorites. That'll be a fun one to watch as well. So let's jump into it. As always, we'll start center. Anthony Davis, revenge game, 10.3K against his former team. He has put up big numbers against his former team. So I think he is one of the top lineups of the day for sure, and one of the best possible matchups. It's just, there is a little bit of blow risk for sure, but man, you gotta like Anthony Davis. He's going to be popular for sure, so you can pivot, but I think he stands as one of the best spot ups of the day right now. Jokic at 10K, I don't think I get to him. There's severe blowout risk in this one. Denver's finally healthy now, so the Mets have been down a little bit on Jokic. I would prefer getting to AD at a similar price. Now, Whiteside does intrigue me here at 9.2. His role doesn't really change a whole lot with Lillard being out, but still, he's going to play about 35 or so minutes. He's like a double-double machine. Boston, where they're weak is their front court, right? Like Tice, Cantor. Like Tice is a solid defender, but Cantor is not very good defensively. I think we probably get about 35 or so minutes from Whiteside. I think he's an interesting play here at this price. He's not going to be high owned, but I have some interest there for GPPs. Sabonis at 9K I actually think is in play. Last game was a blowout, so only played 31 minutes. Would not be super concerned about that. We already, if Jeremy Lamb's out for the season, we have Victor Oladipo questionable. If Oladipo can't go, those are two somewhat big pieces out of the lineup. So Sabonis is going to have to do more offensively. We want to target bigs against Charlotte. That's been a thing all year. I think he's a pretty solid play at this price. The price has come down to a playable point at 9K. Like 9.8 was just too much to pay for him. 9K is playable. So I do have some interest in Sabonis. I don't think he's going to be that high owned, but I do like his upside, especially if Victor Oladipo can't go. Now, this Milwaukee-Toronto game is interesting. This one's going to be a fun one to watch. At 8.5 for Siakam, I don't know if I get to him. I would prefer getting to Serge Ibaka, who we'll talk about in a bit, for a couple $1,000s less. Zion going up against the Lakers, it's a tough spot, 8K. He seems priced about right. Not super excited about that play. Christian Wood, I would only consider him if he starts. He's been great off the bench. I don't know why Dwayne Casey's not starting him, but if he starts, we probably get over 35 minutes from him. If he comes on the bench, we're probably lucky to get 30 minutes from him. Steven Adams has had two or three really solid games. Yeah, he's been playing really well recently. He's been also a double-double machine. Chicago, pretty thin up front. So I'm okay if you want to continue to ride the hot hand of Steven Adams, but it's just like 6.7. It feels kind of a lot to pay for Steven Adams. Now, personally, I would prefer getting to Serge Ibaka at 6.5. We have Brook Lopez status up in the air. He could be matched up a lot against Robin Lopez. I'll take Serge Ibaka in that matchup all day. So I do like him a good amount here at this price. Now, I would not be concerned about the minutes from him the last two games. Do not. That game against Phoenix, super tilted. He was in foul trouble. He picked up 4 fouls in 5 minutes. Yeah, that cost me a lot, but don't really want to talk about that. And then this game against the Pacers was a blowout. So don't be concerned about the minutes. He's going to play 35 or so minutes in a close game. This one should stay close, right? It's a 231 over-under 2-point spread. I really like Ibaka this price. He's one of my favorite plays there. Marquise Chris, questionable. Draymond Green, questionable. We got to keep an eye on this. If both of those guys can't go, then there could be some value. A guy like Toscana Anderson that won me some money the other night. Kevon Looney would probably get some more runs. So got to keep an eye on the status there. Brook Lopez is out tonight. We'll see if he's going to be available for the game tomorrow. If he is, obviously takes Robin Lopez out of play, but wouldn't really affect my interest in Serge Ibaka. I think you could argue Brook Lopez is probably the worst defender, so maybe it would help him a little bit. Either way, like I said, I really like Serge Ibaka. Now, if Brook Lopez misses, then we can consider Robin Lopez on the opposite side, who I'll talk about in a bit. Let's see. Other options. Daniel Tice has been getting some big minutes. Cantor's minutes have been down recently. 28 and 31 in back-to-back games. And we know Portland runs big. Like Whiteside's going to play big minutes. So this could be a game where I think Tice at this price point is viable. I think he's a pretty solid play at under 5K. Wendell Carter Jr., I believe. He is questionable. So this is big news. He has been out for a while. If he's available, that obviously takes those value guys like Gafford, like Cristiano Felicio out of play. So we got to keep an eye on his status. If he plays, I probably don't get to him anyway. They're probably going to limit him. Favors does, interest me a little bit here just because we know the Lakers run big. Maybe those minutes go up a little bit. Like maybe it's like 26, 27 minutes against this big front court of the Lakers. So I have some interest in Favors at 4.9. He really hasn't flashed big upside though since Zion has been, available to play. Now, this Sacramento team, I don't know what to do with. That last game, he played 32 minutes. Bazemore played 30-plus minutes, and Buddy Hield only played 15 minutes. I don't know if I missed something or if Buddy Hield got injured during the game or something, but really surprising that Hield only played 15 while Bazemore got 30, and Harry Giles getting 32. Like, they finally unleashed him. He was a guy that was getting like 15, 20 minutes at most, and that last game, he got 32. So, yeah, if Harry Giles is going to play over 30 minutes, I think he's a really solid play. I just don't know if we can expect that again. So I don't really know what to do right now. But again, if he gets the minutes, he's a really good point per minute guy. Dwight Howard's minutes have been down recently. 16 and 15 last couple games. Don't know if I get to him at that price. Alex Len actually got the backup 5 run. He'll get about 15 or so minutes. Don't think we have to go there though. Gafford, this is strictly dependent on Wendell Carter Jr. If he can't go, I think Gafford would be a viable punt option. He only played 22 minutes, but was in foul trouble last game against Washington. So I think if he starts again and Wendell Carter Jr. is out, we'd probably get at least 25 minutes or so from him. Looney, he'll get some decent run if both Chris and Draymond Green are out. He's been really, really bad, though. I think I'll just prefer a guy like Toscano Anderson, who I'll talk about in a bit. John Henson, just thought I'd bring it up. He did play 23 minutes the last game against Portland. So if we're going to get, about 20 minutes from John Henson and almost mid price, he's a viable punt. I just don't know. It's really hard to try to decide what Dwayne Casey's going to do with those minutes right now. Again, Cantor's minutes have been way down. 9 and 5 minutes the last couple games. He's basically out of play. Unless Tice gets in foul trouble, which always is possible. Tice did get in foul trouble there against the Clippers. Cantor played 20 minutes. Other than that, I just don't know if he gets the minutes. Now, Robin Lopez is a guy I played tonight. He was solid got I think like 23 fantasy points. This is strictly dependent on Brook Lopez news. If Brook Lopez can't go, I think we probably get 20 to 25ish minutes from Robin Lopez. At that price, he would be a viable punt option for sure. JaVale McGee, his minutes have been down, but he's basically mid price. So we probably get 13 to 15 minutes from JaVale McGee. He is a guy that can get you, 20 plus in that time. So he is another guy that I think is a viable punt option. I think that really does it though. Oh, is Dragan Bender? They put him in the. Hold on, I forgot about that because he wasn't in the player pool last time. But he's at min price. He played 20 minutes the last game. If both Marquise Chris and Draymond are out once again, I think Dragan Bender makes for a pretty solid play at min price. So this is strictly dependent on Chris and Draymond Green, their status. All right, let's move on to power forward. Giannis at the top had a. If you played Giannis tonight, I feel bad because you got really unlucky. He fouled out. I think he only played 25 minutes. He was in foul trouble the whole game. People are going to be tilted because Giannis was somewhat high owned tonight. Again, if you played him, you got really unlucky for sure. I think he's going to go lower owned just because he burned some people. And, the matchup is not necessarily the best. But this is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think he makes for a pretty solid tournament play. Just because, again, I don't think a lot of people will be on him tonight. Now, the Boston guys, we already have Kemba ruled out. And this is one of the best possible matchups against Portland. So, yeah, I like a lot of the Boston guys. Tatum has been playing out of his mind recently. 50 plus the last 3 games. Again, really good matchup. He's shooting the ball amazingly. He's getting some peripheral stats as well. I think Tatum does make for a really solid play. Now, if I think he's going to be like the ultimate shock, then I'll probably pivot off of him. But again, I like a lot of the Boston guys today. Like Gordon Hayward. Like if I think Jason Tatum is going to be the absolute chalk, I'm perfectly fine getting to Gordon Hayward, who's been playing huge minutes, 38 and 40 last couple games. He has, I wouldn't say as much upside, but he's a guy that can get you 40, 50. So I do have some interest in Gordon Hayward as well. I like him a good amount. Brandon Ingram, revenge game spot. Back-to-back, kind of disappointing games, but shot the ball terribly last game, 5 of 18. Was in foul trouble in this game against Portland, so wouldn't be super, super concerned about that. I like the price on him the most for those Pelicans guys, so he is probably the guy that I have the most interest in as far as those main guys on the New Orleans side. Thad Young's been playing really good recently. 48, 34, and 41 fantasy points. The issue is just the price tag. If you think he continues this level of production, fine, but I'll probably look elsewhere. TJ Warren, this would be strictly dependent on Victor Oladipo news. The issue I have with him always is he is so scoring dependent. Like, look at his ceiling. He has a high ceiling, but a low floor. So it's all about your risk tolerance with TJ Warren, right? If you're fine taking like a 15 fantasy point game from him, then you can play him. But no, he does have big upside if he's shooting the ball well. Carmelo, with no Damian Lillard, he's had to do a lot more offensively. It's a tougher spot, but I still think Melo is in play. Just because, again, he's going to have to be like that number 2 scoring guy next to CJ McCollum. Let's see, Pascal, again, this is strictly dependent on Draymond and Chris news. If both those guys are out, then I think Pascal is viable at 5K. Kuzma at 4.4. I think he's okay. You could see the Lakers running more of a small ball 5 with like AD at the 5, just because that's like the Pelicans like doing that with Zion at the 5. So if that's the case, I think Kuzma gets more minutes. I think we probably get about 25 or so minutes. He's playing against a lot of his former teammates. Good matchup. I think he actually is in play as a value option. Toscana Anderson. So, he's played 25 and 28 minutes last couple innings. He's been really solid. This is, again, dependent on Draymond Green and Marquise Chris. If both those guys are out, I think Toscana Anderson makes for a pretty solid play at 4.1K. Other options, Markieff Morris, don't know if he's going to be available for the Lakers. Got to keep an eye on that. He's someone you could always take a shot on. I would have no idea how many minutes he's going to play, but first we got to see if he'll be available to play before you even take a shot on playing him. That does it though for power forward. Let's move on to small forward. Let's see, Wiggins at 7.8. Not for me. You guys know I'm not an Andrew Wiggins guy. He's too score independent. Middleton, Bledsoe, pass. Buddy Hield again. He only played 15 minutes the last game. Kind of out of nowhere. And I didn't watch that game, but I don't think he got injured. I mean, there would have been some news on here. So that is very, very concerning. I think it's more of an anomaly, but still, I don't think I can play him if there's a shot that he gets limited that much. Will Barton at 5.5, I think, is in play. The concern here, again, is just there's definitely some blowout risk in this game. Bruce Brown is questionable. That is somewhat significant. He was he's probably like the number 3 guy right now in the Detroit offense behind Wood and Derrick Rose. If he can't go, that would make some of those, really cheap Pistons guys more viable. A guy like Svi Mikhailuk, a guy like Sekru would make Derrick Rose, his upside would go up a little bit. So this is pretty big news for the status of Bruce Brown. Other options here, let's see. Also, Justin Holiday, he played 27 minutes the last game with, what's his name? Jeremy Lamb getting injured. Also, Victor Oladipo possibly out. If Oladipo can't go, you could definitely consider both the Holiday brothers, Justin and Aaron Holiday. Again, like Sekru, Svi Mikhailuk, these are guys we could look to if Bruce Brown can't go. I think those guys' minutes would go up. All right, I think that really does it, though. So let's move on to shooting guard. CJ at the top has been, winning me a lot of money last couple of slates. Now, obviously, he was really chalky there against the Pelicans, but against Detroit, he was only like 35% owned. He had 76 fantasy points. His upside is through the roof, no Damian Lillard. He is their go-to guy. He's going to play huge minutes. He played 43 minutes in regulation in that last game against Detroit. So, I know the matchup's not good. I know the price tag's going to probably scare people off. The price tag and the matchup are probably going to scare people off. I don't mind going right back to the well with CJ here, even at this price, even in this matchup. I just really like his upside. He is, again, their go-to guy. He's doing it all. So, I think he's probably going to go low on tonight, but I don't mind going right back to the well there with CJ McCollum. Zach LaVine at 8.9. Again, I'm going to be at this game, but it just doesn't really stand out as a game that I have a whole lot of interest in. A slower paced game, 215, I believe, over under 218. One of the lowest, or the second lowest right now of the night. I just don't know if I get to Levine there at that price. Drew Holiday's been really solid last couple games, 44 and 56 fantasy points. The price tag hasn't really moved. I know it's a tougher spot, but he is definitely in play as a pricier guard. Again, no one really stands out in this OKC Chicago game. I just don't think I get to anyone here. Jaylen Brown, I have a good amount of Anderson at 6.6. Just a lot of these Boston guys in really, really good matchup. So Tatum, Hayward, Brown, Marcus Smart, I like a good amount. Even Daniel Tyson under 5K. Oladipo, again, we've got to keep an eye on his status. If he can't go, would make the Holiday brothers definitely more appealing as value options. Marcus Smart, his upside, it goes way up with no Kemba when he runs the point. Hasn't had amazing games, but 31 in back-to-back games. I'm perfectly fine getting Marcus Smart as well. I just like a lot of the Boston guys today. Bogdan at 5.6. His minutes are so up and down, it makes it tricky to trust him, right? 34, 23, 25, and 34 fancy points, or 34 minutes, I should say. So, yeah, that's the concern there. Kobe White, he's in play, and I'm a little bit torn here. 35, 30, and 34 and 34 minutes last 4 games. So, it's really good to see that he's getting a lot of minutes, and he's had 3 really good games, 39, 42, and 49 fantasy points. Now, the price tag is coming up, but he is playing amazing. So, yeah, like I said, I'm a little bit torn here. I think he will be pretty popular. If I think he's going to get to a point where he's going to be super, super chalk, then I will probably pivot off him and just hope he doesn't, shoot the ball lights out like he has been last couple of nights. So, yeah, a little bit on the side there right now with Kobe White. Aaron Holiday, he played 32 minutes last game. He is certainly a viable punt, especially if Oladipo can't go. I think him and his brother probably get, around 25, 30-ish minutes. Bazemore, again, kind of out of nowhere. He played 30 minutes. Had 43 fancy points. So, more of an outlier game in my opinion, but if he's going to get, 25 to 30 minutes, he has gotten 28, 22, and 30 minutes last 3 games. So, I guess it is, they're comfortable giving him some decent minutes. At 4.3K, I think he is in play. Wanamaker 3.4. Just don't think we have to do it. I think there's better value options on the slate. Now, as gross as it sounds, I think some of these Lakers guards, normally I just think they're out of play, but they're at a playable price. Like Avery Bradley, 3.3. The thing with them is they're so scoring dependent. They have to knock down their threes. KCP's at 3.2. Even a Danny Green. These are all guys that I think are viable punt options. It's just, my concern with them. They're very, very scoring dependent. I got Brandon Knight, as gross as that sounds. He would become a viable punt option if Bruce Brown can't go. So, Bruce Brown news is actually pretty significant there for the Pistons. Let's move on to point guard. LeBron James at the top of 10.7, I think makes for an interesting GPP play. I think everyone is going to play AD in a revenge spot there against the Pelicans. I wouldn't mind taking a shot on LeBron, just because I think the ownership is going to be inflated on AD. Either way, I think both those Lakers spot-ups are really good plays. Again, still no Damian Lillard. That's why I like CJ a good amount, even though the price is up, even though the matchup's not the best. Kyle Lowry at 8.1. He seems like a pretty safe play. This game should be really fun to watch, at 230 plus over under. So, yeah, I think Kyle Lowry and Ibaka are probably my favorite plays there on the Toronto side. Chris Paul just seems too pricey there at 8K. Jamal Murray, I'm just worried about the blowout there. De'Aaron Fox, I have some interest in at 7.6. Good match here against Golden State. We are at what is it at? Or it's not out yet, this spread. But like I said, I'm not really worried about Golden State defensively. We probably get about 30, 35-ish minutes from Fox. He's a guy that's been filling up a stat sheet recently. So I have some interest there at 7.6 for sure. Brogdon, you can look to him if Oladipo can't go. I think he's an okay option. The concern here is that Charlotte does play at a slow pace. Lonzo, a revenge spot for him as well. He had kind of an off game last game against Golden State, only 27 minutes. But him and Ingram are definitely in play here for the Pelicans. If you want to stack this game and go AD and run it back with a couple of Pelicans, I think Ingram and Lonzo Ball make for good players to run it back with. let's see again. Draymond Green questionable as well. We got to keep an eye on that status. Him and Marquise Chris. Schroeder's always in play for GPP. Satoransky, I'm not going to chase that. He had a big game, but 5.7 just feels like a little bit too much to pay for him. Well, I mean, him and Kobe White are about the same price, I guess. I don't know. Like, Chicago is a tricky team right now. It's not like a super exciting game, but they are pretty thin. I guess I don't hate the idea if you want to go Satoransky over Kobe White. Either way, I think both those guys are in play. Derrick Rose, the concern here is just his minutes have been down, 23, 28 minutes. Now, this is not really the best spot, but if Bruce Brown misses, that's some more usage to go around. That's some more minutes to go around. So you can consider Derrick Rose. He's burned people last couple games, so he's going to be pretty low owned. But again, Detroit is just super, super thin. They don't have a whole lot of guys who can score the ball. So yeah, I think he is viable for GPPs. Kai Bowman played big minutes, 28 and 32. Again, we got to wait on Draymond Green news for whether or not I have some interest in Kai Bowman or not. Rondo, revenge spot at 4K. He's very up and down, but he's in play for GPPs. George Hill's at the flat min. I think he's in play here. I'll play 24 minutes against Washington at 18 fantasy points. At the flat minimum, we probably get 20, 25-ish minutes. He is definitely in play, I think, at that price. I think that basically does it for this 7-game slate. So, again, guys, I'm not going to be able to live stream. I will actually be at the Chicago OKC game. But I will try to get a player pool out there for you guys on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it is important to do so. That will be in the description below. But yeah, I'll try and get out a player pool for you guys for this 7-game slate. So yeah, thanks again for everyone to come and check the video. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys all tomorrow or Wednesday for that slate.